What's going on, everyone? It's time for another horror film review. Today we're going to talk about something genre of film I don't really talk about very often. That's the cannibalistic horror film, horror thrillers out there that were huge in the 70s after Cannibal Holocaust got released. There was like a major boom of them. A lot of cannibal exploitation films are sometimes known as, and yeah, you have like Cannibal Ferox and a whole pile of others, and this is one of those ones. It might even predate Cannibal Holocaust, but it's called The Thirsty Dead. It was released September 6th, 1974, and it's directed by Terry Becker, who also did Infection, Dead Deadly End, and Bottom Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and Compulsion, name a few. So yeah, this is basically a cannibal exploitation film. Some people classify it as a zombie movie. I don't specifically, because well, basically the film is this group of models basically, and they get suckered into going on this like dream trip to a private island where it ends up being at the private island they actually are becoming sacrifices to a bloodthirsty cult, which are more sort of like cannibals or somewhat. They look grotesque, looking almost like they're zombies, and they have to find a way to escape. Yeah, it's a simple premise and it's pretty fun, especially for the first half of the film. It was pretty well done and pretty better than I was expecting it to be, and the acting is pretty good in it too. But yeah, the way it was shot and everything, I saw it in color, so it was pretty interesting and more unique. Different style filmmaking. Back in the 70s, I believe filming in like the Philippines and Thailand and stuff was really cheap, so a lot of companies did that. And you can clearly tell that's why they did this. They got a lot of good jungle shots and everything put in there. And yeah, but for the main characters and stuff, they pretty much realize what's going on really quickly. And it's weird because the dead are controlled by some like head in like this red liquid jello looking stuff, which was kind of odd, but they kind of touch on that and then they forget about that. So but yeah, for the first half of this film though, it's pretty entertaining and fun, because they have like a secret layer that they throw the people into, and it's sort of like you don't know what's there, and then one of the girls gets put in there, and you're in there with her, and it's just dark, gritty, gross, and pretty well done. And like the makeup and everything like that, and even like the way they shot it and stuff, it was pretty well executed for that scene. But then after like that main part happens, they the cult starts preparing for another ritual, and then the group realizes they don't want to be a part of it, so they try to run through the jungle. And the second half is them bickering through the jungle while they're trying to get away. And then it has like the most opaque, dull, happy ending in the history of film. I did not like the second half pretty much at all for this film. I thought it was terrible, and completely boring, highly predictable, and just not that interesting. They had a very strong first act and a somewhat okay second act, and then the third act just like went downhill and it basically ruined half the film. But still, it's still an amusing film. It's a good starter film, especially if you're watching someone who doesn't not familiar with cannibalism or blood drinking and stuff like that. This one might be a good one to start them off on. But boy, those costumes ever look really ridiculous now. It's very like fluorescent green and light blues and stuff like that in this, and it's just stands out and does not make you feel like you're watching a cult in a jungle type of film. But I still thought it was amusing. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna give The Thirsty Dead a 2.5 out of 5. It was amusing and all, but the second half really killed it, and definitely dragged the movie down quite a bit. If they kept up the way they were building it with the first half, it probably would have been a better film. But for what it is, it wasn't that great, and the ending was absolutely horrific and terrible and stupid. So, and highly predictable. So yeah, but if this sounds like something you might be interested in, there's a trail link down below, like always. Also, link down below is my Instagram, so I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. You have the film title hashtag, the subject of film and a hashtag, so you're aware of it. And also, my Letterbox is linked down below. Take favorite reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. Follow me on one of those two platforms staying up with this channel. Like this video, share it to more people wherever. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. Also, if you have any other films or film franchises in any genre that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try to manage to get to them as soon as I can and if I can find them. And that's it for this one. So make sure you subscribe. Hopefully we'll find something weird to hear now that you probably never thought of checking out together. Something like this. And so you hear my opinions on popular films coming out and classic films as well, and reviews on other things. So make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell because who knows what the hell I'm going to talk about next. I don't even know. I might hop on Shudder and try to find something weird to talk about on that. So, but yeah, well, that's it for this one. So, yeah, tune in for maybe a good Shudder review for the next one. But yeah, The Thirsty Dead was surprisingly entertaining, but disappointing at the same time. Yeah, but watch out for all those crazy bloodthirsty cults out there, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.